The third section is debugging Spring Boot with build and dev tools. The first video of this section is a brief discussion of the most popular build tools. In Spring Boot 2, you have the opportunity to build your projects with Maven, Gradle, or even with Ant and the dependency management Ivy. Apache Maven is an open-source software project management and comprehension tool. Maven can manage a project's build, reporting, and documentation from a central piece of information. It describes how software is built and helps in dependency management also. Maven is used mainly for Java-based projects. Here are the main features of Maven: simple project setup, consistent usage across all projects, superior dependency management, large and still growing repository, and tasks for dependency management, model-based builds, instant access to new features, and release management. Here you see the structure of a Maven project file. Here in the upper section, you define the project settings like artifact, group ID, name, and description. In the parent section, you define the Spring Boot starter parent. In the properties section, you define the encoding and the Java version. And finally, in the dependencies section, you list all necessary starter dependencies. Gradle is an open-source build automation tool focused on flexibility and performance. Gradle build scripts are written using a Groovy or Kotlin DSL. There's a huge performance in running Gradle builds, because Gradle does incremental builds and build scans. There are also advantages in authoring Gradle builds. For example, the build logic is testable code in Groovy or Kotlin. Gradle takes care of downloading and managing dependencies. Concerning eco-specific features, you are not bound to Java. You can even build projects for Android applications or for native applications in C or C++. Gradle has features for developer tool provider, who work on IDEs and continuous integration systems. This is an example of how a Gradle build script is structured. Here you see the project settings with the group, the version, and the source compatibility. And here in the dependencies section, you see the added starters. You can also build a Spring Boot application with Ant and Ivy. The Spring Boot Antlib module is also available to help Ant create executable jars. To realize a Spring Boot 2 project with Ant and Ivy, you need an ivy.xml file that declares the dependencies and an Ant build.xml file. This is an example how an ivy.xml file looks like. You need Ivy as a dependency resolver and management tool for Ant. This is an example of how a typical Ant build.xml file looks like. This line here shows how the Ivy is integrated into the Ant build. This table gives you an overview about the pros and cons of each build system. I used Ant in the past for my smaller software projects in Java. I used Maven in a larger software development team because it could easily be integrated into the Jenkins build systems. I think in the future I'm gonna use Gradle more because it is the latest tool with the most flexibility.